Welcome back! Today on Dialed In DIY, we're making a Dremel spark guard out of repurposed materials. This Dremel tool accessory that you can make yourself is great for helping to protect things from being thrown into your face. In my previous video where I was making my own Dremel tool accessories, like these cutoff wheels, I'd highlighted this spark guard so that you could see what it was all about. Well, today we're going to make it. This accessory is perfect for any rotary tool type of device that you have, and in fact, the original version of this I saw someone else had made quite many years ago. They got a largemouth bottle, they cut it in half, or actually about a third of it from the top, and then they split it down the middle. Once they were left with this particular part of the bottle, they just stuck it right on top of their Dremel and used some zip ties to hold it in place. Well, I wanted something a bit more secure, and something easier to add and remove. In order to do that, I merely used the same approach I did on the repurposed cooking oil filter that I made in a previous video. You can see that in the links below. All we need is a plastic bottle and a Dremel tool or other rotary device. Just like the version in the animation that my friend had made, we want to cut off the top 1/3 of the bottle. Then take that screw-on collar off of the neck of your Dremel as well as the bottle cap. We're going to then go right to about the center of that bottle cap and punch a hole through it. We're then going to get a drill, and I've got one of these graduated drill bits so I can keep making it larger and larger as needed. Feel free though to use any kind of a device that you have that will make a hole that you can expand to just under the size of the threaded area on your Dremel. Then fit it back on and put the head of the collar back in place. We're going to put that clear part of the bottle back onto the bottle cap so that we can draw out the shape of the guard that we're going to want to use. We're going to make a mark halfway around the top part of the bottle that's going to go far enough to get past our Dremel accessories that go into the chuck. The underneath side, we're going to draw that it comes back underneath the very bottom part of any accessory that you put inside so that you can still get it all the way up to whatever the device is that you're working on. After all, it won't be very helpful if your guard keeps you from getting to your project. Well, go ahead and take that clear plastic part back off and get whatever you want to use to cut it out along the lines that you drew. I started with a knife and finished with scissors, then put it back onto the Dremel so I could give it a good test run. I wanted to see if I'd cut off enough or maybe too much before I go and do anything else. Everything seems to fit in place perfectly, so I'm going to go ahead and take it for a test spin. For safety's sake, you want to start by testing it on small stuff, which I did with this little piece of wood. That way you can make sure your bottle is strong enough to resist anything that's going to get thrown at it. I was pleased how the spark guard worked with all of the accessories I made in the previous video, which is linked in the description below. So I went ahead and threw on a grinding wheel and really took it for a test. Since everything worked well and my materials were good, I went ahead and sanded the edges to make it smooth, and I have my finished spark guard. I'm really pleased with how all of my DIY Dremel accessories turned out. If you make some, let me know some details in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please press like and then subscribe. There will be more Dialed In DIY to come.